With all the rappers that died due to drug overdose, no one has been more vocal about his addiction than Mac Miller. However, all of that would not matter as we woke up to one of the most terrible pieces of news hip-hop has ever heard on September 7, 2018.
We arrived to a heavy media and police presence here outside of the Studio City home of rapper Mac Miller, and authorities confirm here a death investigation is underway. Air 7 was over the scene when we saw what we believe to be Miller's body being transported into a coroner's van. We've seen investigators walking in and out of the home, and Variety, among other outlets, is reporting Miller, whose real name is Malcolm James McCormick, age 26, died of an apparent overdose.
Born Malcolm James McCormick on January 19, 1992 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Mac Miller's journey into music began at a young age. By his teens, he was already making waves in the local hip-hop scene. His mixtape Kids in 2010 showcased his lyrical prowess and youthful energy, earning him a dedicated fan base. His debut studio album, Blue Slide Park in 2011, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, a rare achievement for an independent artist at the time. This success catapulted him into the limelight, but with fame came immense pressure. As Mac's career reached new heights, so did his personal struggles. The demands of being famous, coupled with the pressures of fame, took a toll on his mental health. And to cope with all of that, he turned to substances. Initially, it was marijuana, but soon he was experimenting with harder drugs.
At one point, weed didn't relax me from everything. It made me more paranoid about all the shit happening, right? So like, I needed to get a drug that was a little more numbing, if you will, and less like in your head. So yeah, I think that's really what sparked me doing other drugs, is because I hate being sober. I wanted a drug to do.
Nah, this is too much though. This is the pure.
Wait, no.
It's not that
I'm
shit
saying
before.
that's how it carries the whole shit.
You're not listening to me.
No, I know
This is not even the one that you think is it.
Yeah.
This is the one
That's it.
that's really it.
What, more than activist?
Listen to me. I'm your brother. This right here.
I'll taste it. I'll let you know.
You're gonna miss a couple of shows.
No way. No way. This is perfect. It's mine.
In a 2013 interview with Complex, Mac admitted, "I love lean, it's great. I was not happy and I was on lean very heavy. I was so messed up all the time it was bad. My friends couldn't even look at me the same. I was lost." His mixtape, Faces in 2014, delved deep into his mental health, with tracks like Grand Finale hinting at suicidal thoughts. He later revealed that he believed Grand Finale was supposed to be the last song he made on Earth. Mac Miller's openness about his struggles was evident in various interviews. In a revealing conversation with Larry King, he discussed the pressures of fame and its impact on his mental health. He candidly shared how the sudden spotlight contributed to his depression and substance use.
There were darker times for you, right? Your last tape, Faces, right?
Yeah.
Did you have a problem in life?
I had a drug problem, for a long time. It wasn't just in music, but I definitely was going through a drug problem, and I think it was more my state of mind. I was just pretty depressed, as everyone.
Even while successful?
Yeah, I think it started.
With success?
Yeah.
How do you explain that to yourself? You're struggling, you're not depressed.
Right.
You're successful, you're depressed.
It's funny because you talk to people and they say, what do you have to be depressed about? You have money and da-da-da-da. I think what was, I'm 18, 19 years old, going through this for the first time, doing it very differently. And I think what is usually just that moment in someone's life where they're trying to figure out who they are and what their identity is, it just gets magnified, and it becomes a bigger thing because fame is tricky because you read what's said about you, then you know what you know to be true, and the lines start to blur.
I asked the great actor Richard Dreyfuss, who went through it once, why he was, and he says, he don't know.
Yeah,
Can't answer it.
It was hard to put my finger on it, because you want to put your finger on it too, though.
How would you know? Yeah.
Yeah, but you just, I just went through a long period where it was I didn't wake up very happy.
Mac Miller's lyrics often reflected his personal experiences. In a memorable interview with Nardwuar, he recounted a childhood incident where he and a friend were robbed while smoking marijuana for the first time. This story highlighted how early encounters with drugs and crime influenced his worldview and subsequently his music.
The first time you did weed, did you get robbed?
Yeah, I did get. How'd you know that? Okay. Yeah, I did, man. It was a fucked up situation. Not actually like robbed, but I was in 5th grade, and I was getting high. Fucking thought I was James Bond and shit, and started running around the basement. And then the kid that I was getting high with, his older brother came down and was like, "How old are you?" And I was like 10, but I'm gonna be 11 in a month. And that wasn't enough for him. And so he put me in the chokehold real quick and took my weed. And then I was out, that was the last time I smoked with that dude.
In 2016, Mac released a documentary titled Stop Making Excuses, where he opened up about his addiction. He made several attempts to get clean, achieving periods of sobriety. By October 2016, he had been sober for 3 months, noting his improved mood and creativity. However, by April of 2017, he relapsed again.
I'd rather be the corny white rapper than the drugged out mess who can't even get out of his house. Overdosing is just not cool. There's no legendary romance. You don't go down in history because you overdosed. You just die.
On May 17, 2018, Mac was arrested for driving under the influence after crashing his car and fleeing the scene. This incident, coupled with his recent breakup with singer Ariana Grande, painted a picture of a man in turmoil.
Look, here's the bottom line. You can't help who you fall in love with. Period.
Right.
And there is territory which comes along. You have to make a decision. Am I going to commit to this relationship regardless of the stress that it might cause on me or on others? And you had to make that decision. But was it stressful?
Life is stressful. Do you know what I mean? So of course there were stressful times. Look, it's not that unique. Like I was in love with somebody. We were together for 2 years. We worked through good times, bad times, stress, and everything else. And then it came to an end, and we both moved on. And it's that simple, And like, I haven't been on the internet, so, people have assumed that I'm, like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Like,
why did you drop off line?
Because I was about to drop an album, and also, like, I don't know, it just all seemed kind of like unimportant. Do you know, like the need to show people I was okay? Like, what is that? Where does that come from? Why do we have this need to use social media and the internet? Like, the whole thing is a little strange, but it's not negative. It's just a part of something that's gonna continue to help make me who I am. Like it's all positive energy. Like, I am happy for her and moving forward with her life, just as I'm sure she is with me.
Despite these challenges, Mac channeled his emotions into his 5th studio album, Swimming, in 2018. The album showcased his growth, with introspective tracks that touched on self-love, resilience, and the quest for inner peace.
So when all the press happened, right, with the breakup and the DUI, and which we'll get to. Dude, the DUI thing, a lot of people hit my phone and they're like, because I have a past with all that stuff.
Right.
Like, right. When I made The Divine Feminine, that was when I put that record out, that was the first time I had a clear head in 10 years.
That's right.
Whenever that happened, everyone's like, yo, you must be, like, the story painted itself. It's too easy to be like, oh, here he goes, back to what we, back to what we're used to.
What did happen?
You ever feel like invincible? Like you're just.
Maybe I could count on one,
but like,
with 2 fingers how many times
you gotta understand is that I lived a certain life for 10 years and faced almost no real consequence at all. I had no version of the story that didn't end up with me being fine. Yeah, I made a stupid mistake. I'm a human being. Like, drove home drunk, but it was the best thing that could have happened. Best thing that could have happened. I needed that. I needed to run into that light pole and literally, like, have the whole thing stop But those things are important, you know, and you get the urge and the itch to tell people, don't worry, I'm okay. Don't worry, I'm okay. Because, you know, like, I have people that care about me and fans that love my music, and it's a beautiful relationship with them of people who have been with me through being a 19-year-old wide-eyed kid to being a self-destructive, depressed drug user.
On September 7, 2018, Mac Miller was found unresponsive in his San Fernando Valley home. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The autopsy revealed he died from an accidental overdose involving fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol. Investigations revealed that 2 days prior, Mac had purchased counterfeit oxycodone pills laced with fentanyl. 3 individuals were arrested in connection with his death. Mac Miller's untimely death sent shockwaves through the music industry and his fan base. Vigils were held worldwide, with thousands gathering at Blue Slide Park in Pittsburgh to honor his memory. His openness about his struggles sparked conversations about mental health and addiction, emphasizing the importance of seeking help and supporting those in need. It's been a few years now, but I can't help but wonder if this could have been avoided if we were actually listening. However, just like everyone else, I am only making this video because I miss Mac Miller.
Let me clear up a couple of things here. There's been a lot of talk about me being on drugs. Look at me, do I look like I'm on drugs to you? Not on drugs. Drugs are on me. Alright?